Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Parenting with Purpose Challenge. We did this challenge earlier in the year. This is part 2. Super excited to help you finish the year strong with just some minor, small adjustments you make in your parenting with some intentional work we're going to do together this week. My name is Maria Dismondy, and I am a children's book author. I now publish other authors' children's books, but above all, I'm a wife and a mom, and I love that role. But I will have to say, besides running a business, running a household, doing all the things I do, being a parent is the most challenging. Now, I was kind of stressing out because we have this major house renovation project that we're in the middle of. And today there's about 9 people working on our house. It's super loud. I thought, where am I going to do this video? I have to hide. But then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go to a quiet space. Everybody's going to see the chaos behind me, and that's the real deal. I'm coming to you as is who I am. So let me talk about the challenge real quick. Every single morning this week, you will get a short email that introduces you to the topic. You will then be able to join this live video at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or watch the replay. But the final element is to take action. And by taking action, we ask you to spend 5 minutes on your journal activity, which is part of the workbook. So we have a workbook and there's 1 page for each day. It's just 1 page. So let's start with today's topic. Today's topic is all about who you are. Instead of self-sabotaging and saying, I should be the mom who cooks with clean ingredients. I should be the mom who volunteers at the school all the time. I should be the mom who has my kids in matching clothes all the time. Whatever those shoulda, woulda, couldas are, let me repeat that. Shoulda, woulda, couldas are, let them go. I should have done this. I could have done this. I would have done this. They're all excuses. It's looking back. It's going into the past and trying to change the past. But we know, you've seen Back to the Future, there is no going back. We cannot change the past because the past helps to teach us where we are in the present. The past helps us to move forward to the future. So going back and trying to change things, going back and dwelling on things only hurts ourselves. If you were to go back and say, what can I learn from this experience and move forward? That's helpful. But going back into the past and saying, I yelled at my kids, I'm a terrible mom, that's not a productive thought. Going back and saying, wow, I yelled at my kids today. That felt really terrible. What can I do differently? Oh, I only got 5 hours of sleep. I'm going to take better care of myself because I know when I'm lacking sleep, I'm easily irritable with my kids. I lose patience with my kids. That's a more productive thought because you're actually saying what happened and what can I do to change it. Hi, Sarah. So today we're talking all about who you are as a parent and knowing that your best is good enough. I wanted to show you a picture, and we actually talked about this at church a few weeks ago. So they showed us a picture of an iceberg, and I thought this was very profound. The iceberg, as you can see, has a lot underneath the surface. And the iceberg tip that is above the surface right here, right here, this makes up for about 10% of the iceberg. So we have about 90% that is below the surface. So when you look at your life, think of an iceberg. Everything that people see is that 10%. But what's beneath the surface, those inner thoughts, your self-sabotage, you telling yourself you're not good enough, all of that lives beneath the surface. And that 90% actually drives that 10%. So if you are trying to be the best parent you can be, it's going to be hard if you're sabotaging yourself and saying that what you're doing is not good enough, that you're not kind enough, organic enough, clean enough, blah, 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 crafty enough, what have you. So in order to make this 10%, I'm having a hard time pointing. In order to make the 10% above feel better, what we can do is acknowledge what we have underneath and say, you know what, that's part of who I am. That's part of the past. What can I do to make things different? And that will help drive a more productive 10% above the surface. I'm going to give you an example because right now you're like, I need like an example. So our children had this really fun thing at school, and I'm very active at the school. I do a lot of events that I'm passionate about. I do a lot of work from home for the school, organizing things. I do their social media on Facebook. And a lot of that is because I do work. I work from home and I can't always be at the school. I also spend a lot of time speaking at elementary schools. So they had this really fun thing on Friday, and they also had a day off last week. I could not take Friday morning off to go to the fundraiser that they had at school. And I was sad because my friends were sending me pictures, which I totally appreciated, but I wish I could have been there. I want to be there for everything. And I gave myself a really hard time throughout the day. Like, you should have moved things around in your schedule. You should have worked late one night so that you could be there in the morning. And then I was like, stop. The day off of school, I took the day off of work. The kids and I had such a beautiful day. We went to the apple orchard. We picked apples. We then went on a hike because the seasons are changing in Michigan. The colors are beautiful. After our hike, we went to the library for an hour, and the kids filled their library bags. We came home. They all got to have friends over. We made apple pie with the apples that we picked. And I'm thinking, I made that day so special for them. It doesn't have to be every single day. And the fact that I work and that I'm, trying to balance that for my family too, I have to stop giving myself a hard time, that mom guilt. So that's an example of that mom guilt that came in saying, you're not good enough. You should have moved your schedule around. You should have been there at this run seeing your kids. That was driving my 10%. I had a really crummy Friday morning because I kept thinking about it. And so again, we're talking today about you are good enough. Be the parent you want to be. There's going to be that inner voice that's going to try to bring you down, saying you could have done this, you should have done this, you would have done this, but you really want to focus on who you are as a parent. What is it that you're doing really well? What is it? Hi, Mandy. What is it that you're doing well? And keep doing that. And if you're not doing something well as a parent, acknowledge it and take actionable steps to make it better. I'll give you one more example. I think it's important as parents to really be in tune with our health. And I felt very irritable. I did not feel like myself for several months. And I went to the doctor and I was like, I just don't feel like myself. I'm impatient with my children. This is not normal. And they were able to test my hormones and see that things were really, really off. And so now, many months later, I feel a lot better. I feel more like myself again. So I think it's important to acknowledge what you're doing as a parent and how can you make it better, but accepting that where you are in the present is a really great place to be. Okay, baby steps. So baby steps are going to get you exactly to where you want to be, but you can't get there in one day. So again, my name is Maria Dismondy. This is day 1 of the Parenting with Purpose Challenge. I'm coming to you from my chaos in my home right now because we're under construction. Doesn't normally look like this, but I wanted you to just see the real deal. I'm actually hiding from about 8 contractors because it's really loud on other spaces of the home. So today, you're listening to the live video. I'm going to sign off now. You're going to take action by filling out journal page number 1. Tomorrow, I will see you here at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time for day 2 of the Parenting with Purpose Challenge. We're in this together. You are not alone on this wonderful journey called parenting, although it is the most hard journey as well. So acknowledge that, everyone. Give yourself some grace. Have a great day.